Hello, everybody, and welcome to the FBA Season 8 Week 1 analysis. I'm here with Kevin,
Hi guys.
and this is the first time we're doing something like this, so I'm very excited. I feel like so far the season's going very well, and this sort of thing will hopefully make it even better. So yeah, let's just get right into it. As you guys can see, we have it's not just me and Kevin. We also have Woke Trio joining us. So thank you very much, Woke Trio, for stopping by.
We also have quad trio.
That's what you're gonna call this
Did
thing?
it?
Yeah.
No, it's the hamburger helper.
I know. No. I know that.
It's gonna evolve into the hamburger.
Bro,
helper
what
thing.
is that? Like, what's it from?
The hamburger helper mascot?
Is that like McDonald's or some shit? I don't know. No, it's not McDonald's.
It's like some food thing.
But from what? You don't know. You're like,
Dude,
dude, it's
just
the
move
hamburger
on.
helper.
Just
No, I'm not
hamburger
gonna move
helper.
on. I can't move on from the hamburger helper. All right. First, some announcements. I only have one announcement. Spamham is planning a random battles circuit. And it's going to be, I think he said he's planning to do it not this upcoming weekend, but the weekend after. He made an announcement about it before, so there's more information there. And you can, of course, always just DM him for more information about it. So if you feel like doing it, then join. Alright, so first, an overview of the week. So Cross Atlantic Crawdons beat the Dutch Dodrios 2-1. Spammer Generators lost to DMT 0-3. Paracentric Functions beat Pittsburgh Registealers 3-0. And Malding MSU's lost to Lagoon Luyas 1-2. There we go. I got all the names right, so that's pretty cool. If you take a look at the standings, so we had 2-2-1s and 2-3-0 wins, and Paracentric Functions absolutely destroyed. They already have a plus 12 match differential, meaning that they averaged a 4-0 victory in every match, which is absolutely dominant for the first
I
week.
know. What about the second team?
DMT. And then we also have the kill leaders as of now. Pretty standard, we got a lot of megas there, a lot of tier 1s. We do have Empoleon, though, with 4 kills.
Wait, that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's our fault, right? Because we're the ones who faced Empoleon. I probably gave him a lot of kills.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything there is pretty standard. Those are our top 10 for now. Any comments on any of this, Kevin? Or
I have no comments.
yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. So now, Kevin, you want to take us into the game bred highlights of the week.
The game bread highlights of the week. We got best set and best play. All right, guys. Best set. In order to avoid you guys calling us biased, we're giving the best set to Scarf Stoutland. I'm pretty sure Axel used it first. It was like Scarf Stoutland versus Surge Surfer, like Alolan Raichu. I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, you put a scarf on like a Sand Rush Pokemon, so you can like outspeed and KO with Crunch. That was pretty unexpected. I was gonna give it to myself, guys, but I figured I couldn't do that. But enjoy the meme to the right. Best play? Yeah, we couldn't really find one. You guys need to play better.
Yeah, pretty much. And wait, so was it Axel? Oh wait, who was the first one to use Scarf Stoutland?
I think it was Axel,
Axel?
right? Because he was the first on the team to play.
Yeah, oh yeah, him versus I think Memo, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he used it to as you said, outspeed the Alolan Raichu in electric terrain with sand. Because Stoutland in sand with the scarf can outspeed the Raichu in terrain. Yeah. So now we're going to go into the battles of the week. We're going to go into... So each week when we do this, we're going to only choose 3 battles. The 3 battles that we thought were the best or just the most entertaining. So the first one we're going to look at is Jacob versus MPG. Let's see. All right. Just clarifying, Kevin, you can see my screen, right? We're good?
Yeah.
All right. So here's the match. MPG versus Jacob. So what are you thinking when you see this matchup? What are some big threats? What are some things that either team has to worry about?
Dumbass 6-0s.
Yeah. I mean, MPG doesn't have a very defensive backbone. His most defensive mon is like Claydol, and yeah, Dummy's just going to destroy it with a Poltergeist. Besides that, I mean, I guess we do know that MPG has Scarf Mamoswine, which is really powerful.
Mamo went crazy.
Yeah, Mamoswine. Hey, no spoilers, Kevin. Come on. Just I'm saying.
All right, sorry. It goes crazy.
Supposedly it will go crazy in this match. If it's played correctly. But yeah, the Delmies and the Mammoth Swine definitely two biggest threats. Also, Gyarados can maybe do some stuff if it gets some Dragon Dances out. And if it has like maybe Ice Fang for Altaria. So yeah, let's see. So we see a lead of Claydol and Delmies. Pretty standard lead.
It's a free Poltergeist.
Yeah, this is a very smart from Jacob, recognizing that Delmies just destroys and can just fire up a free Poltergeist. And if NPG leads something that maybe scares the Delmies out, like a Mammoth Swine, you can just switch it out. But best case scenario, he gets off a free Poltergeist here. And yeah, NPG's going to throw away his Metagross. Makes sense. Can't really do much against the Hippo. But it can get up rocks, so let's see if he gets up those rocks real quick. He just goes for an Ice Punch. It actually has a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's a pretty logical play. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Saves the Metagross.
He's going to save it, yeah. Maybe he has rocks and he wants to get up something like that later. So we actually see a double here.
He doubles to Mamo on the Altaria. That was pretty crazy.
So he had Sceptile out. So he doubled.
Yeah, it was Sceptile on Hippo, and then he doubles to Mamo, predicting the Altaria.
I mean, yeah, I guess. The thing is, if he could have just fired off like why would Altaria switch in here, right? Like it's a good switch into the grass move.
No, it's a quad resist to grass.
Yeah, but technically, I mean, this is a Mega Sceptile. You could have Draco'd, right? So I don't know about that play from Draco.
It doesn't get Draco. It's Dragon Pulse.
Ah, okay, never mind, I guess. But I think it was a good play anyway for MPG, just because Mamo covers everything, right? Like even if he stays in with Hippo and just gets up rocks, it's good. It's also good if he decides to switch into something like Delphox or Altaria and just gets up offensive momentum. He's pretty much doing what Jacob did, right? Saying, I'm just going to switch into my hard hitter when I have the chance and take advantage of that. So that's definitely a really smart play. I should see him stay in. And we see a nice Ice-Field Crash flinch. I wonder what the moveset on this Altaria is, because if it was like Return, that could have done a lot to Mamo. But yeah. So he gets a kill there. And
Sorry, I'm back.
You good?
Yeah, no, I left for a second.
Alright, so yeah, we saw Metagross, or Mammoth Swine flinch to Altaria.
Oh, right. Yeah. It crashes on the Altaria, right?
Yeah. And of course, Jacob knows that he's Scarf and that Delmies can live one hit, so he's going to be like, you know what, that's your big hitter, I'm going to send in my big hitter, and either we pretty much trade here, or you give me something else. And MPG's going to be like...
So
yeah.
Mamo crashes on the Altaria. Does that reveal Scarf?
I guess not necessarily, right? They're speed tied.
Oh, yeah. So he couldn't say for sure that it was Scarf.
Yeah, so that's actually a pretty risky play of going in Delmies, because if he's banded, it kills, right? I mean, we know he's not Life Orb, right? But if he's banded, or I guess technically like E-Belt, that could be very scary. So definitely a risky play from Jacob here, because, I mean, the game was probably just over, right? If he just gets the kill here. But, he is Scarf, so he's going to switch out and save his guy. And sack his Metagross, which is a safe play. Good place from MPG.
Wait, so he was Scarf Mamo, and he switched out on the Delmies?
Yeah, because this guy, I don't think he kills in one shot with Icicle Crash.
Right. I keep forgetting Delmies is, like, hell bulky.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably, as long as he's max HP, I'm assuming, which he probably is considering how slow Delmies is.
Yeah.
So now...
But he also didn't know it was Scarf Mamo. I don't know. Let's keep going.
Well, no, I'm saying from MPG's perspective. From Jacob's perspective, I don't know about going Delmies.
Yeah.
From MPG's perspective, like switching the Mammoth Swine out of the Delmies makes sense.
Yeah.
But now we see MPG, and I think this is a big mistake. So he wants to use this as an opportunity to set up with Gyarados because he gets intimidated off on a physical attacker. But Delmies is just too strong with the Power Whips and Poltergeist, and Gyarados is low base physical defense, and he just can't take it. Actually, doesn't even. He just Ice Fangs, but does nothing. And gets shit on. 60% after Intimidate with no boosting item. Very strong.
That's actually pretty crazy.
Yeah, Delmies is... I mean, it's also just a high base power move. He's going to Ice Fang again. Stoutland's going to come in. We're going to see a nice return. Do 51%. Very impressive.
Stoutland is crazy. I shit on his Pokemon when we were drafting.
I was telling you, bro. Yeah, I was telling you. Stoutland's pretty cool. What's the item on the Stoutland? Do you think this one's also...
I think it was also... I think it was also Scarf.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, this is definitely not banded given the damage.
Yeah, no, it was Scarf.
It's definitely Adamant. It's Scarf Adamant, I'd assume,
yeah.
Right? Does that... Yeah, it definitely outspeeds Raichu. Yeah, it's Scarf Adamant, right? I mean, if it was Jolly, I don't think it would do that much to Claydol. You see Stealth, I mean, technically we don't know the Claydol set, but we're assuming it's max HP. See Rapid Spin.
Yeah, this rapid spin was a little weird to me.
Yeah, like as we said...
Because the only, like, because, I don't know, I thought I'm assuming Delphox has boots, unless it's choice.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Magnezone and Hippo don't really care. Stalin shouldn't really care either. And Delmise is in. So I would have just taken a Poltergeist
Yeah, like if
kill.
I was Jacob, I'd want to. I don't think it'd be worth it to get out off rocks, get the poltergeist kill as you said, and also like it would be good to stay in range of like not dying to Coco Dazzling Gleam because then you can always get a kill. But now that you're getting low, like anything can pretty much come in and kill you, and you're never gonna be able to get another hit off. So yeah, now he takes the kill, and he's getting low. Yeah, after rocks is gonna be in range of pretty much everything on MPG's team. You see Nice Fang, just gonna kill him, finish him off. Which, makes sense, right? Jacob's Delmise is low at that point. Can't really do much. Might as well sack it. But yeah, could have probably gone... Well, who would he even have gone into versus Claydol? I guess nothing. I guess you just have to Poltergeist, right? Instead of Rapid Spinning. Especially since like it didn't do anything, right? Because rocks are still up.
That was kind of my thoughts too.
Yeah. So now Stoutland comes in, and it can fire for a nice powerful return, and MPG has no good switch in. So he's going to sack his Gyarados. Alright, so now we're kind of in the end game here. From MPG side, his win con, so Hippo's a big problem, right? Because the thing is, like, Hippo, or all of his Pokemon can hit it for good damage, but nothing can OHKO it, and Hippo does a shit ton back to all of his guys. But
Yeah, Hippo
considering,
was crazy.
Yeah, but considering MPG's Memo's Scarf, it's definitely his win con here. It can pretty much kill everything. It's just got to get Hippo a bit lower, and I think Stoutland might even be in range of an Earthquake. And then from...
Yeah, it's tough. It's
Yeah.
tough. I think, like, we knew, or like in retrospect, like Magnezone is ballooned, but if we didn't know it was, then I think the end game had to be with Mamo.
Yeah. And then from Jacob's perspective, so you have a balloon Magnezone, right? You're going to obviously have to keep the balloon intact or you just lose to Mamo. Actually, if I recall, he doesn't play around the Scarf, which is weird because earlier he kind of made an assumption that it probably was Scarf, or, going in the Delmise, or I guess making the assumption that it wasn't banded, right? When he went in the Delmise.
I guess?
Because, yeah, I mean, when he went in the Delmise after Altaria died, he pretty much was saying, you're not banded, right? And if he's not banded, he's probably Scarf, so he doesn't play around the Scarf at all here. Because he kind of just loses it to it in the end, spoilers. But here, I guess we'll get there, so...
Oh, he switched in Dummies because he was Yachi Berry.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Yeah, we're dumb for that.
There we go. So from MPG's perspective, he couldn't kill him because, he's Scarf, but from Jacob's perspective, it doesn't matter what item he is, he's Yachi Berry on his Delmies. Yeah, good point. we definitely missed that. Anyway, we see the Scarf Magnezone, or the Balloon Magnezone come in. Yeah, so at this point, this is looking really good for MPG. He's got to clean up with Mamoswine, get the Hippo a little bit lower. I mean, even if he doesn't, it's not a big deal because Hippo can't kill him back. He just has to kind of
Agreed.
get Memo in enough to click enough moves to where he doesn't have to worry about, maybe clicking an Earthquake on the Hippo and then it could just recover off. You just got to basically get everything to a range of Icicle Crash for the most part.
Yeah.
And now we see some interesting plays. We see MPG minding up with Coco, and we see it Magnet Rise.
Wait, can you pause?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is... I don't know. I wasn't... The Magnet Rise, to me, was kind of odd.
Well, I think it's in case... So, when he used it, it's not like Coco even set up at all. He was just... It was in case... Actually, okay. Wait, does he have Flash Cannon? He does have... Because if he has Flash Cannon... Then
that's what I was saying. Like, if he had Flash, he should have just flashed.
Yeah, because I was going to say, like, he was anticipating the Memo. But if he's anticipating the Memo, he just flashes. Actually, it covers nothing. So what does it cover? It covers him staying in one turn just to maybe scout for what Jacob's going to do. And then switch to Memo, I guess. But that's, like, not even worth it. You know what? Next time what we got to remember to do is we got to remember to ask the people for their teams who battled.
Yeah, I did.
So we can get a better
No, I
analysis.
think, didn't Jacob send you his team? Not to, like, expose anything.
Someone sent me their team. Is this on Nat? I think it might have been him. Is this on NatDex? It is. Okay.
Yeah.
I think he sent me the team then. But I'm not going to check because I'm sharing my entire screen and I'm not going to expose my Discord.
Yeah.
But, well, what was this?
If I remember correctly, it had Flash, but let's keep going.
Yeah. So we see a Calm Mind and Mirror Coat War. Oh, it does have Flash.
Oh, I found it. Yeah, it had Flash, yeah.
So yeah, I don't really know what the Magnet Rise was doing there, but Um, so the thing is, I'm pretty sure Coco can kill Magnezone from this point if it's +6 and has terrain, which obviously isn't possible, right? Because once you get to +6, your terrain's down. So I guess the best play for MPG. So what's MPG's set, which is really interesting? Like, what's his, like, if he has Grass Knot, he could have maybe, like, stopped combining a bit and used Grass Knot to chip down Magnezone without dying, and then put it in range of Thunderbolts.
Oh yeah, dude, we were talking about because I remember we were watching this live together. So what we were saying was, because Jacob revealed Mirror Coat, it depended on what MPG's set was. If MPG had Roost on his Coco, then
Yeah.
then he should have not. He should have stopped boosting and like chipped down zone like hit by hit, and then roosted off the Mirror Coat damage.
Yeah. I think
I feel like a Common Coco should have Roost, but again, we don't know what MPG's set is.
I think if he wanted, I think he wins here if he has exactly Grass Knot and Roost. Like, I think he needs those two and he wins. Because you basically doing that, like, okay, let's go back a bit. So what he does, he combines, right? And then he sees the Mirror Coat, or the Magnet Rise. Let's see, combines again, and then he sees the Mirror Coat. So I think at this point, Dazzling Gleamish does too much. I think you have to have exactly Grass Knot and Roost. And what you do is you Grass Knot here, then you Roost, and then you just spam Calm Mind, get the +6, then you kill this thing and you win. And you have high enough base defense where you can live Stoutland's return. And I think you just win with Coco at that point, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless Stoutland KOs, but
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Coco actually has a base 105 defense. It has a pretty high phys def stat. It's a special defense, but high phys def. That. Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, but so the point is, you definitely need Roost, and you probably also need Grass Knot, and you definitely win at that point. But we don't really know his set, so next time we definitely gotta get the sets. Anyway, we see what happens is he fires on +6 stack, doesn't kill, Mirror Coat kills.
Yeah, Zone takes out Coco.
Then we see Sceptile, who SDs.
Oh yeah, this was really strange.
This was definitely strange, yeah.
SDs and Earthquakes, that's fine.
And then uses Leaf Storm.
Then he Leaf Storms. Now, I wish it was mixed. It was cool to be mixed. I don't know the calcs. If Leaf Storm did more than +2 Leaf Blade, then this was the right set.
Was Sceptile the same like, base physical attack and special attack? Yeah, check that for me.
I feel like it's different.
Special attack might be a bit more. My guess is like what, 140.
Yeah, special attack is more.
Is it 140?
It's 145.
145, yeah. And then what's physical attack, like 120?
110.
110. Okay, so it may have been actually close. +2 Leaf Blade versus Hippo and Leaf Storm.
Yeah, no, I'm sure there's a reason for Leaf Storm, so that actually makes sense.
I mean, either way, it's still good to have. Like, I feel like it's still a good set, because even if +2 Leaf Blade is more, it's just good to have Leaf Storm in case you can't get the +2 versus Hippo anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sceptile's gonna finish off.
I was actually kind of shocked that Leaf Storm didn't kill, but
yeah.
Anyways, so it's like 2 big mons gone, right? And then so that one comes in, and it's basically over here.
Yeah, because he's got the Scarf Mamo. As long as Stoutland doesn't crit here, I think crit does kill. Never mind, crit doesn't kill. Stoutland's Mamo's too strong, and then that's the game. So overall, I think both players actually played pretty well. There are definitely some plays that could have been better. Right?
No, I think looking back, both people did it like pretty well.
Yeah, I think when we watched it, we were a bit more skeptical, but now rewatching it, like I think knowing the sets and stuff, it makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, it was a good game. It was a good game.
Yeah,
I like the sets too.
Yeah, definitely a good game. It was definitely a fair matchup, and it was definitely an enjoyable matchup to watch. I think the biggest parts where I'd say that they made a bit of errors were MPG's. It depends on the MPG's Coco set, but most likely he probably could have won from there. And also Jacob didn't really play around the fact that Mamo was Scarf, but there's not really much he could have done considering his team just gets shit on by Scarf Mamo. I mean, what team doesn't get shit on by Scarf Mamo, right?
That's true.
So yeah, all right, into the next battle. We got me versus Ready You. What?
You're gonna be doing most of the commentary for this one. Uh-oh. There we go.
All right. Let's try to remember my thought process. So looking at team matchup, so I of course I have my team, so I know what I had here. My main game plan was to weaken things for Scarf Victini. Scarf Victini was my end game, and I was planning on weaken things through Wheezing Rocky Helmet, Mega Manetric, just switching around and throwing off Toxics on Garchomp, hopefully. And Keldeo can also do a good amount of damage to his entire team. The one thing that really annoys me is that without choice specs, Keldeo actually loses the 1v1 against a physical defensive Togekiss, which is really sad. Or not the one-on-one, as in like loses the counter. Like Togekiss can switch on it and then roost it, or wish up and win, which is really annoying because Keldeo is usually pretty strong and the Togekiss is physical defensive. But yeah, Togekiss it just has a really high special defense stat. So let's get into battle. So I lead Keldeo, pretty much saying, do what? I'm just going to try to get off a big hit as soon as I can. Obviously, I'm going to switch on Lopen here. I don't want to take a fake out for no reason. And I might not even live a fake out plus, like, I definitely won't live like a fake out plus last resort if he has. Well, no, I'm Scarf, right? Oh, no, I'm Scarf Victini. What's my Keldeo? I think it's leftovers, right? So yeah.
It was like Calm Mind.
It was Calm Mind, leftovers, Icy Wind, Secret Sword, Scald. Okay, I go into my Weezing here. He just fakes out. Goes Empoleon. I double. So I double here, right? For two reasons. One, because I don't think he's going to stay in, but if he does stay in, for whatever reason, it's not worth it to take so much damage from, a return. Also, after the return, there's a chance that my Strange Team doesn't even kill, so it's just not worth it overall. I just go Steelix, and if he ever does decide to stay in, I could always just go back to Weezing to get more chip. And also cover some switching out, right? I think most likely he's going to go into something like Venomoth to try to take advantage of the fact that Weezing's pretty weak and it can set up on me. Or he's going to go into Empoleon, in which case Steelix isn't the best play, but it covers the Lopunny and also just covers Empoleon because I can always go back to something like Keldeo, which is what I do here, and I take the Scald. Unfortunately, he burns me the first time, which nullified no leftovers, which really sucks. I built this Keldeo with high bulk. Anyway, he just stays in to get up rocks like Calm Mind, so I'm thinking this is looking really good for me. But unfortunately, Keldeo is just too weak against Togekiss. I just Scald here. No reason not to. If he stays in and Scalds me back, doesn't really matter. Doesn't do much to me. And unfortunately, he does exactly 50%, and he doesn't have leftovers. But I didn't want him to be Scarf here and maybe flinch me down, so I decided to switch to Steelix. And if he happens to be like, a Wish set, he probably has Protect anyway. Air Slashes. I'm really bulky on the specialist side, so I'm not worried about a Flamethrower. He actually stays in here, and he gets his health back. He goes Garchomp, pretty obvious. I just decided to Dragon Tail, predicting that, right? If he stays in...
So you predicted the tail.
Yeah. I figured that there was no downside, right? I don't think he has Flamethrower, given he's a Wish set. So he really can't touch me at all. So Dragon Tail pretty much covers anything. If he stays in, just get another Air Slash. I have leftovers, so I couldn't care less, right? There's really no downside, unless he happens to have Flamethrower for some reason. If that's the case, then it's not even that big a deal. I only take like 30%, considering he's more bulky and I'm really specially defensive, so I just Dragon Tail, because I can. No downside. There's no risk at all. Only good things to be gained for the most part. I do a little bit of chip to the Garchomp, and I'm going to get some Stealth Rocks chip on his Weavile. So this is pretty good for me. So I'll probably just stay in here, right?
Yeah, I mean, it shows it's banded, right? Or scarfed. I mean, it shows it's not boots.
Right. But I think I have horsepower, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I really thought he'd go back to Garchomp. Right, or I thought technically, okay, the reason why I high horsepower is because of Empoleon, but I thought most likely he was just going to go to Garchomp. That's the safest play. There's really no downside. I guess if I Dragon Tail, it's bad. But yeah, I'm not going to say this was a misplay, because I was thinking, I really thought high horsepower would do enough to the point where another Stealth Rock chip would probably kill this. And even if it didn't, like, he still has a 2 Stealth Rock chip, right? It's not that big a deal. And I have, my end game is Scarf Victini, which is faster than this thing. I also have Manectric, which outspeeds this thing. It's not the biggest of deals. Unfortunately, I do get the play wrong. I guess I got a bit greedy there, right? Because I didn't really need to go for something like that. So you could argue it's
I mean, I think, obviously in retrospect, like a slam would have been better.
Right.
I can see why you would horsepower, because I don't like. It's hard to justify like a Weavile staying in on a Steelix.
Yeah.
So,
but I guess I think what I failed to realize is that maybe he didn't go Garchomp just because he, I might Dragon Tail again, which is valid.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, now here's a definite misplay for me, but I don't get punished. Actually, he gets punished. Basically, if I go into so how much does Rocky Helmet do? Is it 16%?
It's like 16.
Right.
Yeah.
So Weavile actually dies. So basically, I didn't want to go Wheezing to kill the Weavile with Rocky Helmet because I didn't want to take a shit ton of damage on it. But apparently, he actually dies in two triple axle hits, so he wouldn't be able to get the third off. So Wheezing was always my play there. Even if I was predicting something from him, Weezing's always a play. But I didn't make it. I just stayed in heavy slammed, willing to give up my Steelix. And it definitely cost him because he pretty much loses his Venom off here. Misses a Sleep Powder, and I kill his Venom off.
So he switched to Venomoth, predicting the Weezing switching?
Yes. He wanted to capitalize on my
Okay.
Weezing and start setting up because Weezing can't do much back to
gotcha.
Venomoth.
Makes sense.
Goes Empoleon here. I go Keldeo. Probably double or something here, right? Let's find out. I see good sword. Valid. I decided to after making my after losing my Steelix because I didn't lose my Steelix I didn't get punished at all. I didn't get punished at all. I mean, I did get punished because of the fact that Weavile's alive, but after I guess missing that play, I was like, you know what? It's probably time to play a bit more safe. I do kind of feel like I'm in a good position here, so I don't think there's any reason to make risky plays and risk maybe clicking a skull or something and losing more health on my Keldeo is already getting pretty low from the burn and rocks chip. So I just Secret Sword. Go to Steelix. He goes Empoleon. Pretty fair play. Covers everything. I decide to do it. I'm done. This Empoleon it can eat hits from my Victini. It can eat hits from my my Weezing, even from Bulu. I just want to get damage on this thing, and I'm especially defensive enough to take one hit. So that's what I do. I take the Skull, and I hit him with high horsepower to get him low. I just fire off a Toxic here on the obvious Garchomp.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Zan. He goes back to Empoleon. I go Weezing. I need these rocks off the field. Yeah, these rocks
For
fuck me
Victini,
up.
right?
Yes, for Victini. I'm not Boots, I am Twist Scarf. Unfortunately, though, I'm not able to keep them off. Nothing I can really do about that at this point. I don't have Hyper
And then
Voice.
Garchomp was a pretty good wall for Manectric.
Yeah, I don't even have Hyper Voice like Gimme put on his. I have Toxic instead, so I really can't touch Garchomp. So I just fire for Thunderbolt. And I give him my Weezing here because it's already low. Luckily, I actually live. So he's going to take a bit more Rocky Helmet and Toxic Chip.
That's pretty lucky.
Yeah. And this
I kind of felt like I get the jab for Bulu, but I probably would have ran Iron Head instead.
Yeah, or
Iron Head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think actually, yeah, Iron Head's definitely better, right? Considering the fact that the more he lowers Weezing's health, the better it is for his Lopunny and Weavile, right? Because they're just super vital to this match. And so Garchomp should be lowering Weezing's health with stuff like Iron Head, but he just has Poison Jab. Obviously, he does a lot more to Bulu, but yeah, I think the Weezing's much more a threat to him. But it's dead now, so his guys can go crazy. This Garchomp's at 14%, and somehow it lives for a long time, actually. I double here. So the reason why I doubled, the funny thing is that I actually had nothing on my team that could outspeed and kill this besides Victini, right? But I didn't want to give Victini any more rock chip than I needed to. So the best play for me was just to go Manectric, intimidate him, and then go Bulu if he decided to stay in Earthquake. And he'll take Toxic Chip and die. But he decided to switch into Empoleon, expecting a fire move, I guess. And so that's pretty annoying for me, right? Because I wanted Garchomp dead there. But it stays alive as a sack, which is really annoying. He goes Kiss. I just fire for Horn Leech.
I assume that was banded, right?
Yeah. I am Bandit Bulu. Am I banded? No, I'm Leftovers. I'm Leftovers, Horn Leech, Woodhammer, Stone Edge, Close Combat. Okay, maybe I am banded. I don't even remember. It's hard to remember because I also have seen your sets, right? I feel like I'm Nature's Madness, but actually I'm not. It's just because you and Gimme both use Nature's Madness. So whatever. We'll find out in a second when I bring Bulu back. He sacks his Empoleon. And now he brings in the big threat to my team. I'm banded, okay. We have the answer. I give him Bulu because it loses to Weavile and Kiss. And I get my kill, he sacks Garchomp.
Yeah, the Garchomp sack is pretty good for him.
Yeah, like the fact that he kept that alive versus my Manectric and decided to go Empoleon then is like really good for him. And it did not work out for me. So he has that extra sack, which allows him to eventually just win the sacking game. So I sack Keldeo here. Okay, so here's the most interesting part of the game. Or not yet. I'll get to it in a second, I guess. Okay, so I have two options here. And I kind of thought about this for a while. So the first option is, so let's see, we have Manectric is at 81%. I did a calc, and if he's not adamant after Intimidate, I live, what is it? No, what's the calc? That's not the calc. Okay, let's say I go Manectric, right? Case one is to go Manectric. If I go Manectric, he's intimidated. Okay, he's not because he has Scrappy, which I forgot, but let's just assume for a second he's not. He gets intimidated, and he's obviously going to switch, right? He then is going to sack his Weavile, and I have Manectric in. So then he goes back to Victini, he fakes out, and he kills me, and I can't OHKO him back. So at that point, I either stay in, and then I have Victini in, but then I attack on his Togekiss, outwalls me, and I lose, right? So in that case, I lose. If instead I decide to switch back, when his Lopunny comes back in, I switch back out into Victini, and I sack my Victini, then what it comes down to is the fact that I lose to fake out plus rock to two fake outs fake out plus return. Yeah, because what happens is if I go, what I say? I'm lost now. I'm
not following.
I know you're not following. I don't think our viewers are either. Okay, I go Manectric. All right, let me restart. Case one, I go Manectric, right? Within that case, there are two separate outcomes. So the first thing is if I go Manectric, he's 100% switching out into Weavile and sacking it, right? Then he goes back into his Lopunny. All right, so here's the two cases within this case. Either I stay in with Manectric or I switch out to Victini. If I stay in Manectric, then I get faked out and I don't do enough damage to kill him and he kills me back, then Victini is going to lose the 1-on-1 versus this thing plus Togekiss. If I switch out Manectric into Victini, Victini dies, Manectric comes in, and then Manectric loses to this thing when he switches into Togekiss, sacking it, and comes back into this thing to fake out and return kill me. The other case is that I go Victini. Alright, in the beginning. Are we following?
Sure.
Somewhat, maybe? Other case is
yeah.
we go Victini. Alright, if we go Victini, he's going to switch here, and he's going to switch into Togekiss, and then I just get walled in, and then I pretty much get walled in, I just am going to lose. So what has to happen is I go Victini, and then I double into Manectric. Then he's going to sack Weavile, and then we're in the exact same position, so I can't win either way. That's pretty much what I'm getting to. I lost. All that to just explain that fact that I lost. Obviously, I thought out all those situations.
To explain that Scrappy ignores Intimidate.
Yeah, Scrappy knows Intimidate anyway, which I completely forgot about. Yeah, I did think about through all those different possibilities. I thought through the Matrix. I was using all my brain power just to realize I lose anyway.
He's using that engineering degree.
Yeah, I'm using the engineering degree. Fuck engineering, man. Engineers are so cringe. I hate engineering.
There it is.
And there's the game. Obviously, the only way I could win right there is, let's say Intimidate does go off, and if for whatever reason he doesn't switch, or actually it doesn't even matter, he just has to not switch there and he has to give me Lopunny. But of course he switches because he has Fake Out, and he comes back in.
Yep.
A tip to advice, by the way, or a bit of advice for Ready Use team. I'm pretty sure Fake Out plus Last Resort would have been better, even though like you're gonna want a fighting move for Steelix. I think Fake Out plus Last Resort is just so good in our team that it's worth it. But I don't think any of them
for
went
future
with it,
reference.
Right? Yeah, for future reference. But I don't think any of them went with that, right? So.
No.
Yeah, but next draft we gotta make sure we draft the counter to that because of course they're gonna keep the Lopunny, right? Because you keep your megas.
Yep.
All right, last battle. Camel versus Hoyden. All right, Kevin, want to start us off here? What are you thinking when you see these two teams?
I see immense.
True.
And knowing how previous games went, I'm assuming it's Specs. and it goes crazy. I think Rillaboom has the potential to do well. If you get rid of Zapdos and Amoonguss. Megazam goes kind of crazy, sort of. And then Kamala was interesting. Hariyama was obviously for Aggron. And then on Hoyden's team, Amoonguss was crucial for all the physical attackers plus Rotom Wash.
Definitely, yeah.
Barraskewda goes crazy on anything that's not Rillaboom, right? Zapdos is very strong, assuming it's offensive with Rain.
Yeah.
And then Aggron was, I assume, just for like eating hits, right? Probably like Megazam.
Yeah.
And like setting rocks. And then I think Crook was Moxie. So.
Yeah. And I think if you're Hoyden here, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna have to, you're gonna probably prioritize rocks, find ways to chip down the Ments and Rotom, and then use your Barraskewda, especially with the Fighting Z, and just tear through the rest of his team.
Barraskewda was like the MGM for sure for Hoyden.
All right, so let's start. We got Ments versus Zapdos. This is looking pretty good. Well, okay, it's not actually. They're probably speed tied here. I'm assuming they're both max speed. So Hoyden gets speed tie, gets a Volt Switch off for a nice 40%, which is huge because it helps Barraskewda a lot. So that's actually really good for Hoyden. He's going to go into Aggron and take a shit ton from this Draco. Takes 50%.
That's actually impressive for like a Specs Ments.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Misses the Toxic.
I don't think that mattered too much. I think we'll see.
Still annoying though. And Hoyden has no switching to Hariyama because there exists no switching to Hariyama in the entire game. So
yeah, there is no switching to. There simply is none. Yeah, Facade goes crazy. Actually, I'm surprised that lived.
Oh, I know Sludge Bomb.
The foul play was was the foul play for Rillaboom or something, or like DD Ments, I guess.
You mean why he brought it or why he used it?
Yeah, why he brought it.
Why he brought it.
I don't know. I would have just clicked like Sludge Bomb or something.
Yeah, maybe it's for Alakazam, but that's gonna. Is that 2-hit KO? No, it probably won't even. It's probably not even worth it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the foul player is for. I don't think
it was probably for DD Ments. That's my thought.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have Sludge Bomb, right? Because he probably would have clicked it there. So what does he have? Like Foul Play, Spore, Giga Drain. What would his last even be?
I mean, even then, like, I would have clicked Giga, right?
Yeah, I just think he didn't want to do nothing to the Salamence that could potentially come in.
I guess so. Okay, that's fair, actually. Moving on.
Yeah, I think he does have Sludge Bomb, though, because I don't know what else he'd have, so he just didn't click it. I think he should have clicked Sludge Bomb.
I mean, I guess maybe... I don't know.
Anyway, it's not a big deal. So he decides to give up his Aggron here. Which, honestly, it's pretty fair. Like, your Aggron just took 50% from a Draco Meteor. Just take the L. just get that guy out of here.
Gonzo.
Crocodile's going to finish off the Hariyama.
Yeah, Rillaboom was so strong this match. Oh, he goes Rotom. I thought he went Rillaboom.
Mm-hmm.
Rotom pumps, right?
And a huge... Okay, so if I'm Camel here, I'm shitting my pants, right? Because
dude, he eject buttoned out.
Yeah, he eject buttoned out into a Zapdos. The thing is, actually, Rotom can live a Specs hit, depending on the, it can always live a hit, I think, and fire back with huge Hydro Pump, which might be worth it. But then you're weakening yourself with Barraskewda, so you might just have to stack something to this insane Zapdos. However, he doesn't need to because
he goes to the GOAT.
He goes to the GOAT. Because Zapdos is not Specs.
Look at that! Less than 50% from, I presume a Specs Zapdos.
No, it's not Specs. That's the thing.
Oh, but it's like offensive though, for sure.
Yeah. But still, like, I think, honestly, in terms of building, this was a huge mistake on Hoyden's part. I think he needed Specs just to do the damage.
I think so.
I mean, I guess you couldn't really predict, that Kamala would just wish up. Does Camel have any other, like, Pokemon that can heal besides Kamala on his team?
Yeah, there's Wish Ments and Pain Slit Rotom. That's about it.
Really? Okay, then maybe in team building, it's not the most far-fetched thing not be Specs Zapdos, because you want to be able to, like, you Volt Switch out and stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's not like you could have expected, something like Kamala, right? Because the thing is, like, even with Rotom and Ments, I mean, unless Ments is, like, Wish or something, but even with, like, Rotom and Ments, you could still just out-damage them eventually if you don't have Specs, whereas Kamala's just going to be able to heal it up with Wish, because Kamala's insane.
Yeah, I'm shocked by that. I was like, when that happened live, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, same. But then I realized he's also not spec, so. Yeah, like I said, Jesus Kamala is bulky. And then I said, never mind, because I realized that he was not spec'd on the Zapdos. It still is very bulky, though. So now Hoyton's main way of getting offense is Barraskewda, right? Because Zapdos is rendered useless by a Kamala.
Yeah.
This liquidation, you get a bit more damage on Ments. Goes back to Palito way. And it takes a lot from this Draco. This Draco's actually going insane.
Is that Specs Draco? I think it is.
Yeah,
right?
it's Specs.
It has to be. Yeah, okay.
Like, look at that. 40% -2.
Yeah, that's crazy. Back to the GOAT.
Back to Zapdos. Good play from Hoyton, but it's rendered useless because this Kamala is just crazy.
Oh, like, look at that. Kamala is actually really good at this matchup because it's like a perfect switch into a Mungus because you can't get Sport.
True. Yeah. It's just the Camo Classic, bro. Using a undervalued tier 5 mon. Like it used Arbok last season, which is really good. This Kamala is
true. That is the Camo Classic.
Yeah. What's Kamala's base stats? Like, is it really bulky, or is it just the power of max HP, max Spadef?
Let me look it up. You can go on though.
Yeah, I think that's honestly Campbell's biggest strength as a player is getting a shit ton of use out of those lower value mons, which is honestly like what makes a really good draft player.
So it's base 95 Spadef, 65 HP. It's not bad.
65 HP, that's it?
Yeah.
Really? Damn, I guess it's just the power of max Spadef, max HP. He's probably timid at Zapdos. Actually, almost definitely is, considering the fact that he's probably speed tied with the Salamence. So this is just the power of not being modest. We'll switch this out in a crook. This nice 40%.
Yeah. I mean, it's base 115 attack.
Oh wow, that's actually kind of strong. What the hell?
Yeah, dude. People use like Last Resort, Sleep Talk,
bro.
Last Resort, Kamala.
Kamala's crazy. Unfortunate.
Yeah, this Rotom was important for Skuda.
Yeah.
I feel like Skuda just has to be like banded. Otherwise, you're just not doing enough damage.
I think it's fine, considering that the thing is, you have to make so many predicts with Bandit, especially because there's Salamence and a Rotom Wash. I think the Z move is better on this build against Camel. So the main reason why I wanted to include this battle is because I think it's honestly just like a great showcase of just a masterful game from Camel here. Like Camel plays it perfectly. like dead ass. Like what? Yeah, forward. Because like the thing is, looking at Hoyton's team, right? He's got a lot of rain mons. He's got a lot of mons that are really scary. Like at first glance, Zapdos can shit on your entire team. Barraskewda can, weaken things for Barraskewda to beat down his team as well. And also just on rain teams, like a lot of the time, what happens is either you sweep or you just blow the other guy out with offense, or what happens is your guys are so frail and you just don't have enough momentum that. You pretty much got out offensed, right? Or maybe you got completely walled. But what Camel does is he's using like mons that are a bulky offense, like Rotom and Salamence that actually don't really take the rain hits too well. Like they can't really take a hurricane, but he's still managing to keep the offense up, which is really impressive. Using out with Kamala, switching out Kamala every time the Zapdos is in, playing against the Barraskewda really well. Pretty much like considering the fact that Hoyton's on the rain team, Camel's just getting off so much offense on him. It's really impressive. Like, look at the Salamence. It's already fired off 4 Draco Meteors against this rain team. Like, that's crazy, right? Like, I just don't...
Common Camel Masterclass.
Common Camel Master... We're going to have Camel Masterclass over here. This is honestly just an amazing match played by Camel. Yeah, that's all I can really say. Like, Salamance's going to get another Draco Meteor off here. On the Sussy Amoongus. Yeah. I feel like if Camel didn't play it this perfectly, there definitely could have been a lot of places where it goes wrong. All that Hoyton had to do was... if he was Spec Zapdos, it could have definitely gone a lot differently if Hoyton played it right, but he obviously wasn't, which isn't really his fault, considering the fact that the only thing that could really heal it off is Kamala, which, who expects Kamala?
Yep.
But, all Hoyton really had to do was just Volt Switch around enough and I think he had to get Barraskewda in more to weaken Camel's mons. and then at some point just do what he's doing right now, blow back the Rotom, which actually doesn't even blow it back. So maybe it was a lost cause in the first place. Oh yeah, never mind, it was a lost cause. Hoyton just got fucked. And he's out playing split.
No, but it depends. I mean, like, if the Komala didn't exist, Zapdos would have, like, chipped everything down.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm talking about, like, even if... Well, I was saying that, like, even with the Komala, Horton could have done stuff with Barraskewda, but considering how little Rotom took, maybe not. Maybe it was just over from the first place. Yeah. Like, that Komala is just so huge. Once again, not even just the godlike play from Camel, but also the godlike team building. Truly impeccable. And that's actually impressive that it
I'm shocked that Noct didn't kill.
This thing has like base 40 physical defense. My guess is that he's Jolly Scarf. I want to do the Calix. I feel like it's like Jolly Scarf Cook, but if it's Adamant Scarf and you live, that's pretty impressive still. Camel's gonna keep the differential.
Rillaboom just cleans him up.
And show off his Grassy Seed Rillaboom. Once again, showing Camel's mastery of the game here, because obviously it didn't really matter here, but like he's pretty much showing, he's saying like, hey, I had like a Rillaboom in the back that could deal with anything and had the fucking Grassy Seed, and I was saving it this entire time. Once I killed your Zapdos and your Aggron and your Amoonguss, I killed those two before I could bring this thing in. But you know what? I didn't even need it.
It was definitely like what Grassy Seed SD.
Yeah, probably. Like, I feel like also one of the biggest problems people have with using like Grassy Seed SD Rillaboom or just like, you know, a seed Pokemon is that you can never bring it in early, or else you pretty much throw out the seed a lot of the times, right? So what Camel had to do is pretty much make his other 5 Pokemon deal with whatever Hoyton has and not need to bring in the Rillaboom, so he could bring it in later and do some sort of sweep maybe. But obviously it didn't matter because Camel just shit on him anyway.
Yep.
So that was the battle. Yeah, pretty much just wanted to show it because Camel's a legend, and that was an amazing showcase of his skill. And I feel like this team fits him very well, especially the Komala. So,
common Camel team.
Common Camel team, common Camel W, like always. All right, those are the battles for the week. Last thing, we have next week's battles as well as odds. Don't look at the top right corner. Core sent that to me. I don't know why. Dude, what the fuck is this? Anyway, what do you think about these odds, Kevin?
I don't know, man. You made them.
No, don't put this. Okay, guys, do not blame me if you're mad at the odds. I said, Kevin, do you have any input? You can change anything you want. And he's like, no, that's good. You're taking responsibility for this too.
Okay.
These are mainly based off of past season results and also a little bit of this season's results with a bit more weight to it. Yeah, so I think they're all pretty. You know, the matches are pretty self-explanatory. In terms of the biggest swings, we got MPG versus Darien, and we got Guinea versus Shinto. So if MPG wins or if Shinto wins, then they will definitely get a shout out in the next video, and their battle will probably be analyzed. And that's it. Anything else you want to add, Kevin?
That's it.
All right. So that is our week 1 analysis at the FBA. Hopefully we will be doing these every week. If there's ever a week that either me or Kevin miss, I'll try to get a guest on maybe Spam Ham or maybe Camel, so someone else will join. We'll see. This video was 48 minutes long, so it's a lot longer than I expected. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed. Great first week, everyone, and good luck in week 2. Bye-bye.
Bye.